Hey guys, Monster50 here, coming with another review for my 31 days of horror for Halloween reviews. We're on day 28, so pretty near the end now, and yeah, today I thought I'd do a review of Evil Dead, which, not the remake, the original. I've already got a review of the remake, so if you guys have any interest, you can check that out. But yeah, I thought I'd review the original, because surprisingly, I feel it still holds up to this day. So yeah. Anyway, so first of all, the storyline for Evil Dead is basically the start of the whole cabbing storylines. You know, where these guys go to a cabbing for not really any much reason other than to have a party. Because when you're going to party, where do you go? To a cabin in the middle of the fucking woods. Makes perfect sense, right? So it sort of started off that trend, and I guess back then it was kind of original, and people didn't see it as so far-fetched, but it is still pretty far-fetched as a storyline, and but then again, it is about the dead rising and eating people's brains, so there that is. But storyline-wise, because of how more or less silly it was, even back then, I'm probably going to have to give it a I give it 7.5 rather than, you know, an 8 or so. But anyways, yeah, well, I mean, it's getting 7.5, nothing higher, because, I mean, it's a pretty silly concept. Not lower, because it was kind of the first film to do this sort of cabbing storyline that I know of, anyway. The characters in this film, well, obviously you've got Ash played by Bruce Campbell, who has become more or less an icon, and that's pretty much the only interesting character in the film. The other characters I didn't really give a shit about, but Ash was the only one that I really, you know, cared about in the film. So character-wise, pretty good. The film a 7. Acting is probably an 8. It's good, but it could have been better. Even for the time it was made, because I believe it was made in the 80s, and in the 80s the acting started improving somewhat, if I remember right. So yeah. And the violence and gore in this film is great. It's over the top, brilliant, really gory. The effects could look quite good, actually. They don't look realistic, but they do look. The blood looks like the white kind of red, if you know what I mean. So like they get the minor effects why it looks somewhat realistic, but well, I mean, the gore looks realistic, but there's so much to the point where it becomes unrealistic and just fun, you know. So yeah, the violence and gore is a 9, and overall, guys, I really love this film. It's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine, and it's a great horror film. I highly recommend it, guys. Way better than the remake. I'm not sure why it's the most notorious Video Nasty. Sure, Video Nasty, I don't understand that because it's about gore, but I honestly don't think it's worse than films like I Spit on Your Grave, Cannibal Holocaust, you know, films along those lines, but whatever. So yeah, guys, overall I would recommend it, and I would probably give it a 8 out of 10, and yeah, see you tomorrow for my next review. So that's Monster50 signing out.